Alright fam, so welcome back to the Undefeated YouTube. We are going to do a life of a hybrid athlete. I'm going to give you guys a little insight into the switch, what's new for me, change from bodybuilding to more hybrid functional fitness, Hyrox specific as well. So we'll take you through a day. It's Wednesday today, so we are actually 2 days out of my first ever Hyrox competition. That's on Friday and Saturday, so I'm doing a singles open men's on Friday, and we're doing the pro doubles men's on Saturday with Maddie. So I'm nervous, excited as fuck. The most challenging thing for me has been obviously making the switch and dealing with the weight loss that's required to get fast with running, and then obviously the impact of the knees and tendons and ligaments. But we're here, we're having fun, so 2 days out. So today we're going to have, I've been here since 5 AM with morning classes, so I take the Hyrox classes for our members Wednesdays and Saturdays. So here's since 5 AM class, 6 AM class. We just had a 7 AM client, and then I've got my 8 AM client who's late but on his way here now. So we'll take you through those one-on-ones. Then I'll do a session for me. It'll be a slightly easier session than normal, but it'll be about a 30 to 40 minute brick type session, Hyrox specific. No running today, try to give the knees a rest before Friday, and the adductor a rest. And then after that we'll have some food. Then we're going to sit down with a special guest and talk a bit about my journey and the switch and introduce the special guest to you guys. So super pumped for that, stay tuned. And then we're going to hit another session in the afternoon. And then we also have tonight, we've got the Erg Army coming through. So Erg Army, a wonderful team that specialises in erg work, so ski erg, row erg and bike erg. They're coming down to hold a seminar here ahead of Hyrox on the weekend. So seminar, threshold session with them on the ergs, and then we'll have a carb up here for all the members. So pizza and pasta unlimited for members before the weekend as a carb up. It's going to be one hell of a day, and we're going to bring it all to you live as it happens. I'm super pumped to kick back off the YouTube with this introduction into what's next for me. It's here, man. Stay tuned. Undefeated. Let's get it. My next client is a really interesting guy. He's a GB3 F4 racer, which means he's basically dropped out of school, gets homeschooled at 16 to race cars. So he goes to like Europe, England for 6 months of the year to race cars. He was in an accident in January this year, so almost 12 months ago now. Broke 28 bones in his body. Ironically got hit by a car while he was riding his electric bike to the gym 3 days after New Year, so 3rd of Jan. So it's been a recovery process. We've been basically rehabbing him. He's had 6 operations, replacing plates and bones and everything. We actually hopped back in the car for the first time about a month ago, and testing was really, really positive. So the plan is for him to, in February, go back over to America and race in IndyCar there. So we're going to do some conditioning stuff, working on his endurance, working on the engine, also incorporate some grip strength work as well, because it's important for them to be really strong for their grip. Then if we have time, we might do some neck training at the end, so really to reinforce his stability in his neck for the turn. So it's a really interesting training Peter through this rehab process, going from being in a wheelchair, barely being able to walk, to now getting back to almost full strength. He still needs a lot of work on his right leg, which was where the impact was. So if it was his left leg, he couldn't have no chance of coming back, but his right leg, the accelerator, he can get away with that being a little bit under strength compared to his left. But we've still got to work to rehab for obviously stability and symmetry and all those good things as well. So let's get the session done. One, down, go. Coming back. He hates it. He hates it. He'd rather do bicep curls. He'd rather do bicep curls than bench press. And shoulder and side raises. Good job, bro. A little bit of caffeine before I train.
My favorite is the coconut. We have 4 rounds, 1 minute on the echo bike, 15 burpee broad jumps, 2 minutes on the row, 25 wall balls, 3 minutes ski, and 25 sled push, 25 meter sled push. So we're gonna go through 4 rounds of that, rest as needed. It's not gonna be a hectic session at all because we are 2 days out, but I still wanna get a sweat on, still wanna get the blood moving. Last one. Last one. Last push. Last push. Hop on. Hop on. Hop on the end.
You're gonna regret that.
Last push for the session. Hold on.
It's not gonna move. Okay, maybe it's gonna move. Go. Get it. How bad do you want it? Good job, darling.
Session done. Let's stop the clock. 41 minutes. 900 calories. Effort hard. Heart rate was up.
I don't know how you, like, all week you're saying taper. This hasn't been a taper.
Yes, taper. No weights today.
It's been freaking hectic.
No weights today. Yesterday was, so for peak week or race week, Hyrox, we still taper training. So I increased my volume of, actually running was more this week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Mainly because John was here though. So we had some Elite 15 athletes here. My coach, Jon Bullough, was here. So when in Rome, we're gonna send it. But we did a few more running sessions. This week I've run close to 70 Ks, which is by far like, yesterday's was the track meet. In the track I did 4-minute 20s, which I've never done before, for 800 times 5, which was again sick. How can you send out the experience being there? But a lot more running, so my ductors are really tended today. So no running today, no running tomorrow. I guess.
Are you still going to do weight training though?
No, none today.
Okay.
So weight yesterday was just like push-ups and pull-ups. That was it. And then EMOM. Today is no weight training. I might do some arms. Anyway, so we've got this session. You've got one more session with Maddie. That's just 18 minutes later on. Tomorrow's just a little bike session. It's called Bike and Breath, so just practicing the breathing. Half an hour on a bike. And Friday we race. So that session's done. Now let's eat. Let's see how my nutrition has changed since switching from being an IFBB Open Pro meathead to a fully sick hybrid athlete. Hey, what do you reckon the name XL runner? XL runners, XL running, or XL hybrid?
Why XL though?
Because I'm extra large. I'm like the only extra large fucking person running or doing that shit. And like on the top, XL looks sick as well, don't you reckon? XL. Everyone loves wearing XL Athletics.
Yeah, I like it.
I reckon it's sick. XL running, XL runners, XL hybrid, XL athletics.
All of them.
Yeah, but like we have to have a name for one, but XL. I think XL hybrid is like, it's like, covers everything. Or hybrid XL.
Hybrid XL.
Hybrid XL.
Yeah.
HXL.
Yeah, tough.
There you go, you just saw the birth of the next fitness brand to take over the world. Guys, so here we have 300 grams of mince. The mince is a mix of beef, lamb, and beef liver. So I mix them all up and get the mince together. Try and get about 100 grams of organs per day and a little lean mince. I then also have 200 grams of a rice pasta, blonde tempo, so it's just like gluten-free pasta but made from rice flour. 100 grams of beetroot. I have 50 grams of dried apricots underneath. A handful, which is about 30 grams of dried cranberries on top. A couple more because it's a big week. And then we also have the dark choc. So I cracked 20 grams of dark choc on top. And I'll drink this. Because I don't use any sauces. What I'll do is at the end, I'll put some bone broth right over the top. And what it does is I find just gives it like a bit more, because I'm reheating it from cooking it last night, gives it a bit more moisture so it's not dry. I don't need to add any sauce. In the past I would have used, believe it or not, Queen's sugar-free maple syrup on top. Weirdest fucking shock because I know, but anyway, I've had this same breakfast for 7 years and hasn't failed me yet. But that's meal one going down now. I'm also going to get into some work, get as much done as possible while I can. Then we'll kick back off later with hopefully a podcast if our guest shows up, and then we'll do another block of training and we'll get on with the day. A little bit of recovery mid-session today. It's funny how easy the ice bath gets the more you do it. Like I just set at 0 degrees. I could sit here for 10 minutes. I don't. I'll do 3 to 4 minutes in here, 20 minutes in the sauna, and back to 2 to 3 minutes in here. So 5 minutes total ice bath, 3 times a week, sort of 15 minutes cold exposure, which is what the data says is sort of beneficial. You can do too much. I'll do that now. And while I'm doing that, just reply to some clients, some more online work. It never stops, honestly. There's about 80 on the team at the moment. Lifestyle, bodybuilding, Hyrox now, and it doesn't end. I'm blessed, I'm lucky, but there's always something new. So, always hands-on. T and I will pack and post orders daily. So we have, I think there was 3 orders today to pack. Some undefeated merch. We do plan to go much bigger with the undefeated merch. Take it to bigger levels, more drops, more consistent, women's range as well. There's a lot to do for us, so we try and do as much as we can, but we have plans in the works to make the merch its own business, separate to the gym and everything else that we do. So quick thank you to everyone out there if you have supported and purchased some undefeated merch. We appreciate the support. And we always chuck in some extras as well. Thank you.
So I'm Jon Bullough. I'm a Hyrox coach from the UK, and I've been working with Mike now for 5 or 6 weeks. We're out in Melbourne for the major Hyrox Major Elite 15 race. We've got some athletes competing, so I thought it was a perfect opportunity to come and do some in-person work with Mike, see the amazing undefeated gym. I've trained here every day, it's amazing. But getting into Mike, so we've got a guy who has decided to completely flip his world upside down, go from professional bodybuilding into something that couldn't be more different. So props to Mike for choosing to challenge himself, I guess, and go full circle. Years of bodybuilding, years of compound lifts and standing on 2 feet and lifting heavy, all the things that you need to do to build muscle and look good on stage, has kind of left him in a bit of a place where he's become dysfunctional, essentially. He's not had to stabilise on one leg or move in certain ways or rotate the hips. It's been all about lifting heavy and building big strong muscles. So he's got some clear weaknesses. He's suffering with a little bit of pain. My job is to make him understand now how to use what he's got, which is these big strong muscles, but implement some exercises that isolate what he's weak at, which is rotation of the hip, which is stabilising on one leg. Why would you be good at it if you've spent all your life lifting on 2 legs? So it's just getting him to understand now the process, which is taking himself onto one leg, moving through some internal and external rotation, building stability, building range of movement in places where he's never needed it. That's the process then moving forward. Today we've done some hip airplanes, so that's a really good exercise to teach the hip how to rotate under load. It'll stretch things and strengthen things that have maybe never been worked. We then went into some knee alignment work, which is teaching the knee to drive over the second toe with a deep low lunge, which we did with a raised front foot 4 inches. And that's just teaching Mike where to put his knee, how the knee and hip interact with each other, how the left and right side interact, what should be on and what shouldn't be on. And then we finished off just with a really good glute stability and strength drill with the side plank clams. So 3 solid exercises that make a really strong guy like Mike look quite weak. And I know Mike will work on that, and that's going to be the process to not only getting him pain free and feeling better, but running faster ultimately and being better at Hyrox. So Mike's the perfect student. He learned everything straight away, which I'd expect because he's got great proprioception from bodybuilding. Easy person to work with. Watch this space because this guy's gonna get so much quicker so fast. Dedicated, you know, a lifetime of hard work behind him. He's not new to the difficult part of training, so I'm excited to see what he can do. Really am.
Alright, so guys, we finished up that podcast yesterday. Pretty late, 2 EMOMs from yesterday, 2 18-minute EMOMs. Then we went home, did some work, ate some food, back up this morning, so we're 1 day out now, so the comp is tomorrow for me. Zach's up Saturday, Nate's up Saturday with me, and then again on Sunday as well.
Yeah, next.
You on Saturday? Saturday as well for John. So I'm up tomorrow, so 1 day out for me. So today's pretty chilled in terms of output. I did 30 minutes on the bike this morning, really easy spin just to turn the legs over, get moving. Food, we're going to increase carbs a little bit, 24 hours out, increase by about 25 to 30% on what we've normally been having, just to try and put some energy in there. I like to stay light because for me, obviously I need to run fast, and the lighter I feel, the better I run. So I'm not going to go too heavy on the carbs, I'm going to go by feel. Wake up tomorrow morning, eat nice and early, let everything digest and move through. I ultimately listen to the boss, listen to John, but just using the way that I feel, I want to stay fairly light. Today we've done some work. We just went through before some stretches and some hip work with John, which was amazing for me, invaluable. I couldn't put a price on that because for me, to work out from where I am now, how I get faster, how I run without pain, and as John was saying, you know, if there's pain there, that's going to limit performance every day of the week. So the more we can reduce the pain, the better performance will be. And so for me, that's the number 1 goal, is how do I get better, how do I perform better, and reduce that pain, so they come hand in hand with each other, if that makes sense. So we went through half an hour work of that. I went and picked up some new shoes, which I'll show you guys on as well today. We'll chuck those on now, just to do a little EMOM after this. A little shakeout, nothing crazy at all. Again, written by the boss, 24 minutes. Just some easy work through, get the blood moving, push up and feel some lactate, but stop there and pull out of it. We're also going to run through a little game plan for doubles. So what that means is basically in Hyrox, and John will speak more to this, but essentially, you know, when I'm teamed up with Maddie, and actually John's teamed up with Zach, it'll be you go, I go. So we'll both run, both pairs run the 1 kilometer every time, but at the stations, you split that up, and it's you go, I go. There's no rules as to how much you have to split it up, whatever else, but we're going to leverage John's experience now on how was the best way to go about splitting up those stations, to split the work up, to get the most out of each athlete, and then to hit the runs efficiently, and just to go through any nuances or anything that we need to prepare for that's going to enable us to achieve the best time possible on the day. So we're going to spend the next sort of 10-20 minutes now running through that, get together the game plan, hit up a little EMOM just to shake it out, a few hours out of the dance, then we're going to eat. So let's get it.
yeah, there is a perfect strategy, but there's a perfect strategy for you too. There's a perfect strategy for us, which is not necessarily the same. We'll talk about some key things that are non-negotiable. We'll also talk about some really easy wins, some tricks, just to... It's one of these events where it's such a long event, 60 minutes, relatively speaking, or even longer, that a few small mistakes can add up to 1, 2, 3 minutes. And that's what we want to avoid. So the key things is understanding your running speed. You're going to have probably one stronger runner. And I think for you guys, Matt is probably slightly faster.
Oh.
What'd you say? Maybe? No?
Maybe, come on.
The toughest thing for Mike is going to be checking his ego. Mike's going to want to do probably at least half of the work on the stations and maybe more than half of the work. But really, the trick in the doubles is protecting your runners. So it's like, if Matt is the stronger runner, he should be running in fast, starting the station. Mike's doing the work in the middle, whether they go back and forth, depending on the station. But then, really, Matty should be working and almost trying to slow himself down by pushing at the end of the station, so that then the running speed is more similar. Yeah. The last thing you want is to, you know, shaft your slow runner to the point where your fast runner's just chilling on the runs and you're just losing time the whole time. You know, it's like, if you're 20% faster, then you should be working 20% harder at the end of the station, so that your slower runner's got a little bit more recovery time and the actual running speed's a little bit more similar. Because ultimately, you're only as fast as your slowest working part in that moment. Yeah. And that might be different for different stations. Like, I know for me, like the sled push is the only station where if I go too fast, the next run is terrible. You know, burpees, I can get my heart rate high and still maintain running speed. Rowing, I can hit my pace and maintain running speed. So it's about understanding where your strengths and weaknesses are. It's about then checking your ego and accepting that one person might do a little bit more work in certain parts. Because for Mike, the challenge is going to be to run as close to a 4:30k as he can. You know, and if that means that he needs a minute's rest at the end of the row station so that he can hit that pace, then that means that Matty's going to start, Mike's in the middle, Matty's going to finish. Yeah. So it's these little nuances where literally, like, I could make you go at paces where you're going to go twice as slow on the run, or you're going to lose minutes. You know what I mean? For the sake of gaining 10 seconds in the station. The person who's probably going to find the workout a little bit easier should probably take control. If you know you're going to be at the front of the runs, it's your job to count the runs. It's your job to know where the in and the out is. Penalties are just minutes gone. You know, you've trained for however long for this, 12 weeks, whatever. Don't fuck it up just by running in one lap too early. Don't lose time by going one lap too late. Don't get any penalties. Don't put your foot over the line on the sled pull. Like, focus. Understand what's happening. I hate it when there's a pair and someone's saying, where are we up to? You should both fucking know where you're up to. You should know how many lengths you've done on the sled. You shouldn't be relying on anyone else, not your partner, not the judge, no one in the crowd. You should be focusing and counting on every single part of the race. I think that also helps distract you from the pain as well. You know, if you've got some external thing to focus on, how many laps am I on? You know, how many sled pushes have I done? That'll distract you from the work as well. The thing that I always say, and I've probably said this to you guys as well, it doesn't matter how much you've trained and how hard you've prepared, it's gonna hurt. All you've done by training and preparing is open up a bigger amount of suffering. That you've given yourself the opportunity to suffer for longer and suffer more. That's it. So it ain't gonna feel easy. You're gonna run out, you're gonna probably run the first K quicker than you should, and you're gonna be like, shit, I've got another hour of this. And that's where you've just gotta relax, settle, and get to work. Another thing, and this is the final kind of piece I will say on this bit, is don't expect your body to do anything other than what you've been doing for the last 6 weeks. If you've been running 4:30Ks, that's all your body will do. It isn't suddenly going to do 4-minute Ks. You know, if you've been breaking the push-up into 7-meter increments, then that's what your body's going to do on the day, you know. So be aware of what you've been doing, understand what that means in terms of time or reps or sets, paces, and then just go and execute that. Same goes when you're 10 minutes in and you're thinking, I can't do it. You've been doing it for 6 weeks. You can do it 100%. You will settle in, your body knows what to do, and you've just got to work hard. Like, it's that simple.
hopefully that makes sense, but that's what I tell all my athletes. So these guys now, it's a case of sitting down and figuring out where your strengths and weaknesses lie. Final point, you're going to have a plan, and at some point that plan is going to go tits up. And you need to be able to take control, check your ego and let your partner do a little bit more work. Tell your partner that you're fucking struggling. You know what I mean? Don't just keep going and redline and then be completely useless. Like, ask your partner to take a little bit more of the load. Do you know what I mean? Recognise when your partner's suffering, push them out of the way, do the work for them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. We've all been like, we call it back home, I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but in a partner workout, sometimes you're either the hammer or the nail. You don't want to be the nail. You don't want to be that guy that's getting hammered into the ground, because one partner's getting more and more fresh because they're getting more and more rest, and then one partner's getting more and more fucked, and it's literally like that hammer and nail syndrome. You don't want to end up in that place. So that for me is the key, and then just being relaxed at the start of the race. The race only starts after the sleds. There's not too much to be gained, there's a lot to be lost. Go at it a little bit more conservative in the runs and in the ski erg and the sleds. You better go in 30 seconds slower, because you'll definitely kind of pick that up towards the end of the race. If you go 30 seconds too quick, you're definitely going to lose double that at the end of the race, if not more. We see so many people go out hot and then fall off a cliff.
Well, hopefully you guys find it helpful with your next Hyrox as well. I mean, I'm just trying to take it all in and just realise that ultimately, guys, we want to go there and have fun as well, but we do want to put our best foot forward and make the prep that we've all put into this worthwhile. And obviously, I want to make Jon proud, I want to make my family proud as well, and it means a lot to me, that's for sure. I'm having fun, but...
Sorry to interrupt you, Mike, but winning and performing well is more fun than not.
100.
If you think about your race and you be a bit strategic and you have a plan, there's a bigger chance that you're going to, one, have fun during the race, and two, enjoy the outcome of the race. Because if you've run round like a headless chicken and you've completely fucked it all up, you're not having fun, and if you get a crap time, you're not having fun. So like, I think it's super important just to give it a little bit of thought, have a little bit of a process that you're going to follow, and it just makes the whole experience a better experience. And that better experience then fuels the next 12 weeks of training. You know what I mean? A bad experience can probably is the quickest way to demotivate someone. You know?
We love it. Well, let's get into these 24 minutes of race prep going down now. Heart rate up. Got into that lactate zone, but you can stay there. 30 seconds is enough to get out. Final session before the race. This is what it all comes down to for us, for this season anyway. Set high standards. That's why we feel a little bit of pressure, but as someone I've stood on stage to before, C-Bum says pressure is a privilege. So we'll soak this up, enjoy every moment of it, but that's the training done. So now eat, sleep. These boys, no better feeling than, doesn't matter if it's 20 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, we're gonna eat now and sleep. We're gonna get some sleep. I'll show you this post-workout meal, and then we'll finish up. So keep it really simple post-workout. We've got 500 grams of cooked weight rice. I am increasing carbs over the next sort of 12 hours. So 500 grams of cooked weight rice, 150 banana, 50 grams of honey, and 30 grams of whey. So protein down, carbs up, same as bodybuilding. Before the race, I'll eat some heavy carbs tonight, and I'll keep it really light in the morning so I'm light for the race, but try and put some carbs there so they stay there. So when I go and push, I've got energy. But keep it super, super simple.
After this will be 250 grams of pasta with 100 grams of mince, some apricots and some more fruit. And then I'll have about 300 grams of toast before bed with 100 grams of jam. Just push some more carbs in, and then we'll sleep hopefully like a king, wake up ready to rock. So that is it for this episode. 2 days out, 1 day out, and the next episode will be race day at Hyrox Melbourne 2025. Can't wait to share it with you all. Undefeated, never lose, Hybrid XL.